All right, boys. I got a little weekly recap for you guys. It's from Monday, June 9th to Friday, June 13th. So I'll show you guys the trades that I took this week and how I was seeing the market this week. So Monday, June 9th, I don't think I made a trade recap for this, bro. Low-key, I think I forgot. But we had this high, Friday's high. That's like my main draw on this day. We ended up coming down and taking out London lows. From there, we had a nice flip out and we inverses 5 minute, and that's where I went long. Reason is just because like this is too clean to not want to go long. Like when we just sweep below and have a nice flip immediately, and like my draw on liquidity is higher originally, so pretty clean ass trade, right? 2.8 R. I did not hit TP. I went break even right here, so hit break even and then ran. That sucked, but whatever. And I was thinking about moving break even here, but I ended up going break even a little early. But it's still a pretty valid break even point, but that sucks that I had to do that to me. And then I ended up taking a stupid emotional trade and I lost, I think like $400. But yeah, lost on this day just because Loki got pretty emotional after getting break even and then seeing it ran, and then I ended up getting chopped up and just lost. Pointless loss. Really pointless. Just, it's pretty rare that I do end up taking like emotional trades like that. I can't lie, but like it happens sometimes. You just got to avoid it. Like you gotta like minimize it like a lot. But Tuesday, no trade day. Didn't really see anything that I liked. And then Wednesday was a banger day. We let me go to Wednesday. All right. Yeah, Wednesday we had CPI. We ended up creating this data low right here, and then we also had some other sell side right here. And then we ended up, show you guys what happened. We ended up putting S&T at data highs, so I kind of didn't really want to be bullish. Once we started to trade down, I was pretty confident we were going to go to data lows. And we had this push, so basically this market open pushed down here, like this entire move, the pretty good volume and whatever. Like that pretty much confirmed, or not confirmed, but that made me really confident that we were going to take out data lows. So I was waiting just for a retrace and a flip. We had a retrace into this 3 minute gap, a nice flip out, boom, taking that shit. And yeah, we banked on this trade. Took around like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, it was like a 1.6 R, and we made around like $800. So yeah, at this point, that was a great trade, right? We're done before, like that was a fast day for me, really solid day for me. So yeah. Thursday was, this is gonna be a quick weekly recap. I'm just doing this for myself, but Thursday, what happened on Thursday? Where is it? I think we took a break even. Yeah, so we had these highs right here. That was like pretty much the only draw on liquidity I had, and we ended up trading up. So I was pretty confident we were gonna take it once we started to get this displacement up. And then basically what ended up happening is we had this nice displacement up right here. We got pretty close. We were like 30 points away, so I was pretty confident in it. This, I don't know why it's not showing it now, but this was a fair value gap. We filled it. We had a nice push out, and this is where I went long to this high off of this displacement candle right here. And I went break even right here. You can see this was just a break even trade. So Thursday was a break even trade, but I low key put it like a little bit higher. I put it like $30 in profit. So technically I won $30, but yeah, not really. So I'm up like 450 on the week at this point, and then Friday was another break even, but again I low key put it in profit a little bit, so I ended up making around $30 again. So that's how I'm up 500 on the week. But I'll show you guys what the break even trade was. What was it? What are these lows? No, it's this. All right. So we had this hourly gap. That was my draw on liquidity. It was only, the reason it was my draw is because off market open we rip higher. So I was like, what are we ripping higher for? Like, why are we gonna rip higher if we're not gonna fill this hourly gap? So that was my draw, and we got break even on this trade. We had really good volume and like just displacement to the highs, which is what I like to look for. That's sauce right there, right? If we're like, it's not just like, ooh, displacement, retrace, flip. It's like, like how are we like really displacing? Like if we're chopping up there, then it's like, maybe be careful. But like with these candles here, like this just a lot of volume to the upside, and we have a decent draw. I mean, like this isn't A plus, but like it's all right. I'm like, yeah, this we're obviously gonna take the highs, or the gap. Retrace to the 2 minute gap, flip out of it right here, long stops underneath the gap, bang, and then we went break even right here. I was up like fucking like $600 at this point, and I was like thinking about closing for no reason, but I didn't. I followed my rules, which is good. But we went break even, put stops a little bit higher, so ended up making around $30 again. And that's how I made $500 this week. Monday was a little bit of a bad day, just because I emotionally traded after getting break even, so I lost obviously. But I mean, it happens sometimes. It's just about minimizing. And low key, it's really rare that I do that. So yeah, that's the whole weekly recap right there. We had Monday loss, Tuesday no trades, Wednesday win, and then break even. So 1 loss, 1 win, and 2 like break even / maybe a little bit profit. You could consider those green days, maybe. I don't know, probably not, but pretty much just like 1 win, 1 loss. But I'm up $500, so yeah, that's how you do it. But solid week for me. Just I was good risk management, taking solid trades. So that's pretty much it. I want to talk about some shit, but I don't even know. Oh yeah, bro. I can just honestly, I'll just show you guys my strat. Like it's not even a strat, bro. I think you guys already know how I trade. It's super easy. So I trade pretty discretionally, low key, like pretty discretionally, but like I also look for some specific type of stuff. But so like obviously I don't just like wait for displacement towards the draw, a 1 minute gap, flip. It's not really just, I don't like trade exactly like that. It's more like I take the shit that's obvious. So pretty discretional, but like I take what's obvious to me. I always usually want to have like a draw liquidity. Like reversal trades I do take sometimes if they're like super clean, but most of the time I like prefer to just take trades with like a good draw on liquidity. But like this is a pretty, actually no, there's a better, let me just find a better representation of how I trade. Oh, where was it? I'll show you guys Monday. That's a good representation. Where is it? Let me see. Because Monday was a solid representation of how I trade. I just ended up like crashing out. Right here. Right, so like we have a good draw on liquidity. This high right here, Friday's high. The reason it's a good draw is like it's low-key just market experience. Like the reason I know this is a good draw on liquidity, for one, it's like a 4-hour high, and it's also just like obvious, right? But like this is a good example here when we have, maybe this isn't exactly a continuation trade, right? Because like we're not really like right next to the draw. It's not exactly a continuation, but it's like we have a decent draw and we have an obvious trade like this. We have this sweep, right? And we have the inverse, and we take it because it's obvious and we have a good draw on liquidity. So we take that trade, and it's not exactly like a continuation, but it's like, I'm not a robot. I'm not a pattern trader. Like I take the shit that makes sense and that's obvious, right? So that's the thing. You can't really be profitable if you're like completely pattern trading. You have to like, especially maybe in the beginning just to get used to it. But like if you have a solid amount of time, a solid amount of market experience, like why wouldn't you use that shit to your advantage? Like why are you why are you just pattern trading? Like you have to have some sort of like system you're looking for, but like it's so like trading it, like the charts are so easy to just like look for and be patient and wait for something obvious and then take it. Like that's the easiest part of trading. And that's like I struggled with finding something that worked for me. Like strategy wise for a while. Like I used to trade some bullshit like liquidity sweep, 5 minute down, 5 minute up, gap, boom, beam. Like that's complete pattern trading. And I was obviously could not pass funded. I couldn't do shit with that because, and I thought I was, being patient and disciplined, but in reality, I was just not even, I didn't even have a strategy that worked because that shit was not working. And like, it can maybe work for a month, but then like, it's not work because it's pattern trading. You're waiting for beep, bop, boop, beep, bop. Like, it didn't work for me. So, I ended up trying to trade super discretionally after that, but I ended up realizing that like I was just taking dumb trades a lot of the time because I was being too discretional, and then I kind of found the right balance. So yeah, um, so yeah, I mean after this trade right here, and like this is where it gets obvious, right? If I didn't take that first trade, I would have taken this one where we actually get solid displacement and volume towards this high. We have this gap, and we got a nice ass flip out of that. Whereas like that's pretty much a confirmation right there. When you go long, you hit 1 to 1. That's pretty much the way I trade. But again, you got to add your own discretion to your trading if you truly want to. I don't know. And maybe I don't know. I don't want to say profitability, but like it's different for everyone. But yeah, I mean, I just trade a simple continuation, and then like yeah, trade the obvious. As long as you have a drawn liquidity and you're not taking like a retarded entry, then you're fine. That's like just literally you're fine if you do that. So